we're gonna work on a pneumatic cylinder and piston made entirely from PVC. I'm Rachel Barros, and you're watching Gearhead Diva. We could create a pneumatic cylinder using solenoids in a program that makes the piston go back and forth. You connect it to an air compressor, but I'm going to try and do this without an air compressor. I want this thing to be somewhat mobile and not tie up my air compressor all the time. So I don't know. I'm going to try and just use old-fashioned potato gun technology. That's where kind of this thing comes in. And I figure I can encapsulate it inside like a nice little wooden column. No one will be the wiser. And this will be the air tank right here. And so here's my little bicycle valve, air valve that we fill this up with air. Here's our electric sprinkler. And when activated via these dotted lines here to the foot switch, it's going to release the air from here. It's going to travel along this elbow and push our piston towards the foot. And the foot will swing up towards the buttocks, which will be up in this area. But one of the interesting things that I am totally just noticing right now is this shoe. Why the heck did I make this so pointy? I'm already getting kicked in the butt cheeks. Why? This is 2-inch PVC pipe that I have left over from the Christmas Zuka here. I went ahead and already drilled an air valve. We're gonna put the air in here. The air is gonna be housed in here. So somehow we need to start transitioning this into our sprinkler, and clearly there's a difference in size here. So let's see what I got going on and if I can pick the right accessories to start trimming this down. We have a 1-inch out, which we can start to match up to this guy. So this threaded end here is going to go into our sprinkler valve. So I just need a tiny little piece that's going to connect to our air chamber. If you look really closely right there, there's an arrow that's pointing this way. So the air is going to go from the tank this way and into our PVC, and you can see a corresponding arrow. And normally, if you're assembling this for real, you cement everything, you put Teflon tape on there, just so there are absolutely no leaks. But because we're just kind of prototyping right now, we're gonna go without. Pump the air in here. The air is housed in here until the switch is activated, which opens the valve and the air escapes into our cylinder. Here, hang on to that for me. All right. I'm gonna put him in here. And our elbow to match, he's kind of facing down like that. So I need a 1-inch coming out of here that is somehow going to turn into a 2-inch. So let's figure that out. This is another 2-inch coupling, and I have a 2-inch to 1-inch adapter. See, it's threaded in there, and I'm going to take this little threaded 1-inch and put it in here. I think this is going to work. I'm like trying to picture this in my head. Hopefully it is. This looks exactly like the picture, not at all. But you can see we kind of have it going on. We have our air tank there. We fill it with air. When the sprinkler is activated via the foot switch, that sends the air, and I do have the arrows right. Yes, I do. It sends the air into our elbow situation right here and into our piston. And a piston's gonna fly out of here and hit the piece of wood that is holding our shoe. For the piston, the idea is try to create some kind of airtight situation here. So the air will hit the piston, which is the bottom of this thing right here, cause it to travel down and, you know, push our butt kickery. So this is a 1 1/4 cap, and it does fit into our 2-inch, but the problem is, see, it's a little bit loose. So we're going to have air escaping, going around, which is not going to give us as much oomph, which might be a good thing, you know, but we're going to start with super oomph and then work our way to less oomph, you know. The goal is to tenderize both butt cheeks, not just one. And in order to make it super airtight is use an O-ring. And that should give us the seal we're looking for. And we can put it on this. Now, obviously, this is way too long. Can you imagine the ass kickery that you would get if this whole pole went out like that? Jeez, we're going to have a nice high pressure build up here and no real pressure going on here. So this is going to cause this to travel down like this and get to about this point. Now, of course, we need to find a way to close this, or else this thing's gonna fly right out and, you know, hit the other side of the wall. This is a 2-inch coupling right here, so you can see the threaded, and I'm putting the coupling side on here. And then for this, because it can still come out, I went ahead and grabbed this plug. Now this is a 2-inch threaded plug to fit our 2-inch threads over here. And now we can hook it up to the rest of our system and maybe test it. I don't know, what do you guys think? You want to test it? I mean, the probability of grenading is like 90% because none of it is glued together, but you know, we'll kind of face it somewhere, you know, where it won't cause too much problems. So we are not getting enough air because it's leaking, and I can totally hear it. It's like we have our little air intake there. We built our air tube, our air storage there. The sprinkler valve would be activated by our foot switch, which we built last stream. And then that's gonna send the air through our elbow and push the piston and push the shoe. And I am so redesigning that shoe. Next time it's gonna have fuzzy bunny slippers. Thank you guys for joining me. I can't wait to finish this rest of the project. Your eyeballs and your suggestions make this so much more fun, and it makes the project just bigger, better, and ass kickier, you know, quite literally this time.